Quick demo just to get these devices in your hands. I will show you more tactics at our first location. Again, I try to keep this intro as short as I possibly can, so kind of try to hold your questions until you have me one-on-one. Is that fair? All right, so thermal imaging, you guys should be able to see me in there. I'm orange, red, and yellow. So this is the real deal. This is a FLIR 1 Pro. This is used by mechanics and firemen on the job on a daily basis. Everything around me should be blue or black. So with that said, the blue and black spots are cold areas. We're looking for those to move on their own. Okay, there's always going to be blue or black areas in the camera as long as we try to keep somebody's skin tone in there. Why? Because we're going to be the warmest things out here, regardless of our heat and humidity that we have going on.
Because we're heat-blooded.
We're hot, yes, hot-blooded. So 97 to 99 degrees, some of us might be a little bit more based on the weather, but we do want to try to keep that array in there just because watch what happens when I leave the camera. The orange, red, and yellow is going to go somewhere else. So again, we want to try to keep the base temperature in there so that way we know which ones are the coldest spots. So Joe, I think I'm going to go with you on this one. We might just go right down the line. We'll see how this goes. You are going to keep that horizontal all night long. I think your finger is over the camera. It's on your left-hand side. Awesome. Everybody does it. Don't worry. So
we're off to a good
start.
So the wire size of the camera.
Yeah, it's only keeping the camera charged. It's only meant to last an hour. We're probably going to be out here for about 2. The red square means it's recording, so if it turns to a circle, let us know. That means I have to play some video together or we lost video. After our second stop, we will stop the recording just to make sure we're not going to lose anything.
Okay.
And the new upgrade on the software hasn't been the greatest of things.
You already got a job.
I use these at work sometimes for electrical cabinet. Place hot spots.
Am I just radiating all the heat? Because I feel like I'm just sweating.
I think you guys mentioned you were interested in the spirit boxes, correct? Perfect. So I have 3 different styles of spirit boxes. What do these guys do? This is going to sweep through FM radio stations at a very quick rate. On your TV shows, it's the white noise, and then Zach Bagans tells you what he thinks he heard in the middle of it. If you don't know who that is, he's an over-the-top paranormal investigator that nobody ever believes. But he sees everything over the top.
But they did get one real good one though.
We got a couple. So,
Was it Virginia?
I mean, we get a couple every once in a while. So what this is actually going to do, again with the white noise, this allows Spirit World to actually communicate back with us. On TV, it's just white noise. Mine is set up a little bit different. I have this set up to where it's slowed down. To find a disembodied voice in real time is a rarity. There are other ways to use these. I have it slowed down so the radio chatter comes through. I want the song lyrics, the commercials, and the DJs to come through. We're going to hear little tidbits of words, maybe even a full phrase. Those are things that are 50% chance that it could mean something to the location of where we are, a person talking about history, even something going on with one of us. It happens all the time. This one records the entire session for us, so even if Anna doesn't hear anything all night long, it's okay. I'm going to go through this and spot check it in the morning and give you some markers of things that I heard, whether they're relevant or not. In the event that they are relevant, I will explain why, and I will also give you the backlink as to where I got my information. It's not because I told you so, it's because Britannica.org told me to tell you so. Does that make more sense? Again, I'm not here to make anything up for you guys. So this is already recording. It does not record any outside noise and even on mute. That's why we have it. It's beautiful. So Anna, you have one button to worry about. One is going to help you present.
He said it has like contrast, so it's going to show some of the ones at work. If you have like an electrical cabinet, it shows the temperature change between a range. So if you just look at something that's cold, it's pretty tough to hotter. So you got to include something for reference.
So the next spirit box that I have does the exact same thing that Anna's does, only it does not record. So the interesting thing about this one is I give this to 2 people because it does not record. I need 2 people to verify what it's actually telling us back. So Zoltan and Cody, I think this one's going to go to you guys. You also have one button. It's on the side of the ball speaker. If you hold it down gently, obviously down is this way, it'll turn the volume down. Hold it up gently, it'll give you that volume right back again. It's nice and slow. So obviously when I'm talking, that's what
Ooh, do this part. Let's see how hot it is.
Don't put up the camera.
Last spirit box. Is this a ghost spirit? This is a ghost hunting toy.
Boo!
All the time. Alright, the last spirit box. This one is going to give us a word, time to time, in the center of the screen. It's going to save all of those words to a list. Last night they had an overabundance list of words. It was over 100. So that's really over the top of what we normally see. I'm going to clear them out because they already have their list. 80% of what comes out of this app doesn't mean anything. It's meant to be a game and a hoax. Okay, so again, you will get the full list back. It's the other 5 to 20%, the same principle. I'm going to give you the backlink of where I got my information and why it's relevant. So this is my first go-to device whenever I'm going through your data tomorrow morning. It kind of gives me the timestamps. So Susan, this one's going to go to you. Because I'm going to constantly have to ask you, like, where are we at with the list? To kind of keep things moving
I
along.
don't do anything?
Nope. You won't do anything at all. Just let me know what's kind of popping up. And I will follow up with you when I want to see the full list. So the only way that you need to, get back to that is this little scroll, and then there's a circle back button at the top right.
Okay.
I was wondering.
It pinpoints the hot and the cold spot.
Let's see.
I'm thirsty.
Yeah, what about getting it?
So,
Bringing it in? I don't have a bag.
this is the neuralizer from Men in Black. None of you are going to remember anything when we're done.
Oh, dang.
Lasers. An absolute must when you're working with ghosts. Why? Because you can see the dots on the ground, you can see the pen in my hand. You cannot see the lasers until something passes through it. So we're literally going to be taking hundreds of pictures through these lasers, trying to capture something in the moment of when it's actually going to pass by. It's not going to hang out here and say, hello, I'm right here, take a picture. It's going to go by super quick to the point where we're going to miss it unless we have hundreds of pictures. We're going to use 2 different style of lasers. This one has red grid lines on it. Why do I want red grids? We capture something here, it goes in 3D software. You all have a 3D view with measurements of what we actually caught. So, have I had anything out of the year that I've had this device yet? I've had things that were close, but nothing that the software was able to identify and actually take into effect. So, with lasers, this is a 2-person job. You're going to be my first one, though. Okay? Now, Misty. It was Misty, right?
Yes.
Oh, look at me getting names right. You're literally going to be taking hundreds of pictures through those lasers. This is not an in-the-moment where we're going to actually capture something right now. It's going to be tomorrow morning when I'm going through your hundreds of photos. And I normally don't hand this to teenagers anyway, so again, there's a reason why I'm handing it out to the people I am. So with that said, point one of your lasers down for me. Lasers always stay on the ground, by the way. So your pen has a button on the side of it, you can feel it. There you go. So you're literally going to be taking pictures through it. I know which dots look like on the ground. I don't want that. You want something here. So you want to just keep taking hundreds of pictures. At times it will shut off. Your big button is the shoot button. The one next to it is the power back on. Hundreds and hundreds of pictures. Make me work tomorrow morning. Let's get into EMF meters. So EMFs are an absolute must when we're working out here, of course. So with this one is pretty popular on TV. If you watch the TV shows, it is very sensitive. It's going to measure electromagnetic fields. The only thing we're really looking for, obviously electronics are going to make it go into a pulse. We don't want pulses or rhythms. We want this thing to go absolutely erratic. If it starts going nuts, anything off the screen, then that's where we're still going to try to debunk what's actually happening around us. So, with that said, you take your job, you sit in your chair, in case you have to wheel yourself around. So,
Hey, I'm trying to get some good footage here.
Yeah, I know. I see you taking your job very seriously.
I use them as a call and answer. So, I lost your name, sweetheart. I was doing so good.
Oh, April.
How do you forget that?
That's my wife's name.
Oh, really?
Oh my goodness.
We're not recording, I promise.
You better delete
He's
that.
looking at me like, you jerk. Like, that's bad. So, you're April, you're going to be my multitasker.
Oh,
so
gosh.
There's a reason why you have the device that you have, because Joe has the device that he has. So, this is also an EMF meter. Just like TRISH's, the top numbers, anything above 2.5, we're going to be excited about, but we're still going to try to debunk it.
Okay.
Because he has thermal imaging and we're dealing with temperature, we need to know what the ambient temperature is. That's the temperature around this little yellow probe. That's what your bottom number is. So again, if he finds something, you can prove it or debunk it pretty quickly. Last but not least, it actually is a REM pod. So a REM pod actually detects motion. Anything gets close to that antenna, it will go off. The closer it gets, the higher the pitch, the higher the LED. So we don't always use that, but we're going to show you more about that at the first stop. For now, I just need you to focus on the 2 numbers.
Okay.
You'll be perfectly fine.
Okay. Right, so 2.5 is what I'm looking for, right?
Anything 2.5? I think he said above 2.5.
Okay, and what's the bottom number? What I'm looking for something cold.
I think he said we'll use the bottom number against this. So if one sees something or the other.
So, quick demo. You guys should not be able to see me in the camera. It should be pretty dark.
Yep.
I know the screen is small. My apologies, but it is a GoPro style. So, notice you cannot see me in that picture. Let's turn on some lights. Notice you cannot see the lights with your own eyes. This is full spectrum lighting. So if anything pops up out of the darkness with this, we're going to be able to see what actually comes out at us.
Yeah.
It does include shadow people. It's really what we're after with this guy. This is brand new, so we've been using this for about 6 weeks now, so we've only caught very few small pieces of evidence with it. Now with that said, again, we're still experimenting. So we don't record the entire tour like what we're doing with the thermal imaging, because the memory card on this thing is only so large. So Trish, I might actually hand the EMF up to hubby back there. It might be easier for you to handle this since you're sitting.
Okay.
So with that said, I'll show you more about this.
Okay.
It's weird. How's it picking up these words?
I know. And I don't know what is going
All
on.
the way. So I think
I
we'll be
was
all
making
right.
sure he was listening because I just don't want him to fail at this job.
Nobody's getting fired tonight. I promise.
Oh.
You guys are all fine. So
We were drinking earlier.
now that everybody has their license, what joke did I miss now? Alright, so now
You know,
that
he
everybody's
does
got
say
devices, you guys
you
are
can
all
be
like
picked
tinkering
out.
around with them. Let's give you something to actually look for when we're going through the data tomorrow morning. I gave you guys the address of 251 East Bay Street. Okay, it's kind of nice because they painted it like the old Big John's Tavern. I think they're going to be opening it back up as a Big John's Tavern because that's what it used to be called back in the 1970s. That's the story I normally tell of Big John. So, you guys are going to make me talk to me. I can see it. Big John was a football player for the 1947 New York Giants. This was his bar. He sat in the back of the bar and he would tell the bartender if the cadets coming over from the Citadel if they weren't old enough to drink or not. One night, two guys come in, they're not old enough. He has the bartender throw them out. They come back the next night and try to steal the cash register from the front of the bar. John sees what's going on. He starts pounding these guys into the floor. A couple of shots go off. John gets hit in the neck and the bullet lands in the wall. John gets up. He's the one who got shot, by the way. Goes back to the bar. He tells the bartender to get him another beer and get the two guys on the floor an ambulance. So, right? Kind of shows you what his character was. What's haunting the place is the bullet hole. It's allegedly still here. They are renovating the place. I'll have to double check it once they reopen. People that sit in the front of the bar tend to get a little queasy, nauseous, headaches, those kind of things. I bring this up on purpose because we are, hopefully, fingers crossed, going to be dealing with paranormal activity tonight. I don't know how it's going to affect you. If anybody's feeling any of those things where you don't think it's from the heat, please let us know immediately. We will all move as a group to the next stop to make you feel better, get you to that better spot. So, I don't say that's scary because this is literally the scariest part of the whole tour. So again, let's talk about something other than our own health. April's like, yeah, please move on. So, big earthquake here in 1886. So if you didn't already know that, now you do. This is allegedly where the first death occurred from that earthquake. The man you guys see in the middle of the bar also goes around to the front. A piece of that broke off, struck somebody in the back of the head, and apparently killed him. And apparently you can see videos in the middle of the night. So notice I said apparently everything about that story. I don't have any proof. It's just a great segue, so you guys aren't thinking about getting sick on my tour. So, are you guys ready to go ZOLTAN? Ready? This is ready. We're gonna go this way. We're gonna leave everything to Anna tonight. Did you flip that camera? Did you like flip it this way?
Could I flip it?
Oh no.
Oh, I haven't moved it from.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't moved it.
Okay. I was trying to remember what side I put that camera on for you. Because if you do, it goes to YouTube, and they don't like the flippies. Like I can't fix it if it goes one way or the other.
Oh, okay. Like landscape.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I haven't changed the orientation.
All right, cool. Perfect. The car is coming.
Across.
I've gotten up to 1.
Oh, you're at 1.5.
Where did these words come from?
Words are, there are 9,112 words in the database of that app. The game you and I are playing is the word that you're seeing coming from the app, or is it actually coming from the spirit world? And when I say from the spirit world, it's a matter of they're using it the same way they would use the other two spirit boxes, only where there's no guessing game with yours. I usually only get excited when something is so definitive and it's such a detail to the location that it's unmistakably from that location. And again, you're going to hear me say that's probably part of the 80%, 80%, 80%. It's meant to scare you. You're going to see things like, no, don't, Alice, yes. Those kind of weird, crazy stuff. When I see details, when I see names that are pertinent to the location, you see the name John, you see his jersey number, you see football, you see these very pertinent terms to what we just talked about, that's what I get excited about. Again, we're rolling the dice with all these devices. And with yours, it's generating false positives in between. So again, a lot of people have that same question. So, let's move in a little bit closer because this is a parking lot. People do go through it. So you guys are going to find out that a lot of the places I like to go to, it's not about the sightseeing. It's about what used to be there. So you guys are standing at the big red barn lot. This is where we keep the horses for your para drives. They are in the barn. You can't hear us. If your spirit boxes are too loud, they will get spooked and kick the wall. Lasers, also, no lasers on this building whatsoever. So they will get spooked, they will kick the wall. So, yes ma'am.
That's why it smells like moist food.
Yep, sure does. You guys can smell it, I can't. Only because I'm out here every night, so I'm immune to it. The only history I have here, guys, it's really simple. This is where we kept horses that delivered milk and eggs to the residents of Charleston. So 1860s to 1920s. It's a loose history. But this is a great way for me to, well, me in London, since she's here, to be able to bounce around with you and show you guys more tactics. Now, let's talk about spirit boxes. There's 3 of them out here. This is not TV. This is not, is somebody here? Because if somebody answers no, guess what? They're here. They answered you. They're liars, but they're here. So again, we're going to stay away from yes and no questions all night long. You guys are all here to see some kind of proof of the paranormal, and a yes and no answer is not going to do it. We want the details. Let's go after questions that you already know the answer to. If somebody's here, tell me what color the big red barn is. Obviously, we're going to be looking and listening for the color red. But keep in mind, the 2 spirit boxes that are sweeping through radio stations, it's not always going to have the color red in a song lyric or a DJ or a commercial. They might find something that is specifically red, like a fire truck, blood, heart. These things are all specifically red. I've seen it dozens of times. What color is a big red barn? Blood. Makes sense to me. This is about putting clues together. Now, I also want to point out that I don't get excited unless it's a very specific answer about one clue. In the event somebody hears the number 20, that was Big John's jersey number. I'm not going to get excited because I don't have another clue that specifies what that 20 means. So unless I have John, New York, any other clue that's related to Big John, that's what I'm looking for. Same thing with his teammates. If somebody gets 40 in the word Art Faircloth was number 40 on Big John's team. It's happened lots of times with his teammates. They like to just kind of pass through a little bit. I don't find it coincidental when it happens on a weekly basis. In the event you don't get an answer to your what color is the big red barn, what's inside the barn? Now you have horses, animals, draft horses, anything related to horses, hay, stable, not to mention the words delivery, milk, and eggs, which are your key words. So I'm always going to emphasize keywords with every history and story I'm going to tell you tonight. Over there was obviously 1947, New York Giants, and Big John. Over here it's delivery, milk, and eggs. I said residents of Charleston as well, but you guys are listening to Charleston radio stations. I have to admit the chances of the word Charleston coming through. So, with spirit boxes, we are only going to spend like 5 minutes in this location as I show the cameras a few extra things, lasers and pictures, a couple of little notes, obviously off the barn, but also not on any vehicles tonight that can set off car alarms. I don't like to run with 10 people. Trish is going to beat us all in her wheelchair like it's never going to be fun. So again, always keep them down, maybe 5 feet out in front of you. Take tons and tons of pictures. As far as the cameras, I do want to work with them first. So Trish and Joe, you guys can hang out with me. London, you can start showing April how to use that millimeter and then start bouncing around with the rest of these folks. Just so that they can get used to their devices, and we will get these folks out of here to learn some real history other than football and ponies. Is that fair to everybody? All right.
I like ponies.
I like ponies too, but there's more history to go through. All right, so cameras, let's roll up this way. Trish, if you can, I'll show you a few more tactics. And then everybody else, we can spread out. We are going to stay within the confines of the lot. So Susan, if you want to hang out with me too, that way you're not alone, that's all right too. Whatever makes you comfortable.
Anybody named Dan?
Dan, I will definitely have to look at the list. I don't have it memorized. So, again, I'm not a sports guy at all, so I always have to go back to the roster to see what it is. In the event that there is a Dan, I'm still looking for something else related to Dan, whether it be his last name, his jersey number, something about his team, his hometown, anything about those lines. So, again, it's all about all of the clues being put together all at the same time. But yeah, I won't discount Dan at all. I'll definitely have to look at the list. All right, so with yours particularly, I want you to point it at this wall right here real quick, just to let it bleed out into one color. This is the reason why I want somebody's skin tone in there. Did you notice how it went to blue real quick?
Yeah.
You got to try to keep somebody in there. There's a lot of us here. It doesn't matter if they're far or, you know, close up to you. It's not a big deal.
Contrast.
Yep, so we want that array of color. It's much easier to see the cold spots moving around when you have that array of color. If you just had a bunch of red on there and it's mostly orange and yellows, I can't really see where the blue or black spot's going to come into play because it might show up as red. It might not be cold enough. We want that bigger difference. So of the temperature gauges. At the next stop, I will show you some proof because that's where it happened. So I will show you a little bit more difference of like what you're actually looking for in that thing throughout the rest of the night. So again, you'll be the first person I go to after I tell the story over there. So in here, just get used to how the different temperatures move around. Notice that there's the dot moving around all over your screen. It's giving you the hottest and the coldest spot in the screen at that particular time. So you should have a red and a blue dot bouncing around.
Full of water, something.
Yep, so somebody's shoelace and then the colder spot in the shadow. So again, they're kind of close together. But her ankle right now is the hottest spot in the view. Makes sense now?
Oh yeah.
Of why those two dots are there?
Yep.
Alright, as far as your camera goes, what I'm looking for with yours, this is short range. So whenever you have like a lot of people close to you, I want to keep the long range one on at all times. So the short range, when you're kind of close and people are walking around in front of you, it's going to bleach out. Watch how my hand basically turns white.
Yeah.
So you don't want, you know, a whole lot of white coming through. I'd rather, and I'm also looking for things in the darker areas. So in the event, like you have the short range is off right now and something kind of comes up out of the blue, it's going to reflect the light, even though we can't see it with our own eyes. So again, you're going to toggle back and forth between the short range and leave the long range on at all times. Just so you kind of toggle back and forth, see how it goes. So even like in that purple circle, I'm looking for things outside the circle because what you see is we're already reflecting light. So it's really about what's outside the circle that's not supposed to be reflecting. That's what I'm looking for when I'm going through this video in the morning. Just so you have an idea. So just so you have an idea, there are two switches up here. The bottom switch is going to give us night vision. I don't care about night vision. It also raises attention from other tours and they're all getting interrupted and I try to just stay out of their way. So we are going to record at the next location after I'm done telling the story. That's this button out here next to the red light. So you just tap it real quick and you'll start to see the timer go down, which is perfectly fine. We only have an hour and 8 minutes based on what this thing is actually capable of. So we're kind of saving the moment today. We're going to record the entire session for our next stop. Again, this is a brief one. We're not going to be here long. And then our very last one, and if we can get close to one of the other extra cemeteries tonight, depending on how we're going to be bouncing around, in the case that we talked about on the phone, I'm going to switch it up a little bit. We'll kind of see how much time we have left on the SD card, and what time do I have left to take you guys. So again, I already have the route in mind when things like this happen. My wife's the same. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. That's what I would call it. Yeah, I appreciate the heads up.
Yeah, mine's gonna make a lot of noise here soon. So don't be clod stomping because it makes it go off.
Clod stomping.
Did you see a horse with it?
No, because it's cold. That's so weird looking.
Let me see you.
Yeah, follow me. Camera's right there.
Battery life on it. Again, most people don't agree because it is so much brighter. If you do want to, use them together, go side by side instead of crossing the streams. Just because it's going to make you
supposed to record the whole time, or only whenever we get to it.
So it's after the next stop that we're going to shut it off and give it a little break because we're going to walk a couple of blocks to go to the next stop. So again, we definitely want to keep it rolling. The less I have to splice together, the quicker I can get you back your data.
Yeah.
The reason why is if there's 5, 6, 7 videos, it takes 5, 6, 7 hours. So yeah, to just put it together, not including the upload to YouTube. So the less time I have to stay awake tonight to be able to splice it together, the better off we're all going to be. Because otherwise it won't be till 4 or 5 o'clock tomorrow morning.
I'm not going to turn it off until you say.
Yeah, just keep it running. All right. So my name's going to bounce around.
I didn't notice. It was on, but then when I was fooling with it, I saw the record button came back on.
She said they normally give this to women because men walk too hard and they move around and it gyrates it, I guess. So now I got to be real graceful,
It's the opposite, though.
which is not in my strong suit.
Here, give me this too. Like a motorcycle. Walk over here and pick up a book you made. Huh? Someone's bedroom? Oh, that's like an office, I guess. April, there's something behind you.
Alright, everybody, let's go learn about some history.
Alright, we're getting too far from the crew.
I'm just going to video record you.
No,
You look like something that somebody's father.
there was a car.
I just don't want to drop this damn thing. But damn, it's a phone. It's probably like $1,000 phone. And a little infrared thing.
He thought you looked responsible.
I'll do it.
Don't fall, Joe.
What you talking about?
You'll be looking through your thermarest the whole time.
My thermarest.
What is it? What's it called?
Infrared. Thermal.
Infrared.
I know what. Thermal camera.
So talking about So she said that said there's 3 different types of energy. You know, the energy in a magnetic pull from the earth,
Positive, negative.
and from technology, and from the paranormal.
For this?
Yes.
I live in West Long Beach.
Actually, we're just east of Indianapolis for most people. It's easier to identify.
And I'm not creeping out on you guys. I do keep track of demographics, so I know where my people are coming from. So I look up all your area codes right when I text you guys in the morning. Which, by the way, did you guys all get a text from me this morning? Anybody not get a text? Perfect. So I do that because tomorrow morning, that's how I get you your data back. I send you a link, and it just takes you back to my website, and all your data's in one spot. That's kind of how I do it. I thought somebody was holding my bag. Yeah. All right, so yes, another beautiful site in Charleston, everybody. It's another parking lot. So if you guys don't know where to park by the time you're done with me, we have issues that I can't fix. So, this place used to be something pretty big here for Charleston. So this is the Charles and Eliza Pinckney Mansion site. So we're going to talk about Eliza and Charles. Their mansion sat in the front, facing East Bay Street. Eliza's garden was lined up with that left tree and came all the way across. And we are standing where the servant and slave quarters used to be. So, who the heck were Eliza and Charles Pinckney? Let me stop there. I am not going to be giving you questions like, what color is George Washington's white horse, like what we did with the Red Barn. You will get answers from your spirit box. These are going to be questions you don't know the answers to at the end of the story. So if you want to use them, great. If you want to go rogue, just let us know what those rogue questions are to see if we can actually answer them for you if you didn't get an answer. Eliza and Charles had a son named Charles. They had a nephew named Charles. That's 3 Charleses in case you lost track. So, the son and the nephew were signers of the Constitution for South Carolina. It's a big deal for us, but you guys are all on vacation, and nobody, especially Anna, wants to talk about politics. I definitely don't want to talk about politics. So, let's talk about Eliza. She's way cooler eating. So, Eliza got... What's that? With politics? That's like the president and your mayors and governors and all those people that are in charge. Like, nobody wants to talk about that.
The things that make adults really mad.
Yeah, right? So, we don't like to talk about politics. So, Eliza married Charles at a young age. I'm not going to tell you what that age is. I will tell you that Charles was over double her age. So, that kind of gives you a clue of the numbers you'll be listening for. But she married him because her father over in England thought he was dying and he wanted to see all his kids one last time. She didn't believe he was dying, so instead she got married. This is the 1740s. There's no such thing as citizenship yet. And this marriage was out of love. So it wasn't marrying for a green card or an arranged marriage. It was literally out of love to this double her age man. He did get better. She was right. He starts sending gifts over after he got better from England. One of those gifts happened to be the plant indigo that makes your blue jeans blue. April's wearing it right now. You can shut it off.
Okay, I did. I was practicing it.
It's okay. We're going to play more with it later. That's
Okay.
good that you're getting activity though. So indigo is a plant that makes your blue jeans blue. It makes blue dye. April's wearing it right now. That's how we still use it. So again, it's a pretty big deal. Interesting thing is that the rice plantations were going downhill. Eliza called her dad at that point when she seen that the crops were going downhill. She said, we can fill this in with the indigo. Calls dad, give me some contacts to sell this stuff overseas. All of a sudden, we have a businesswoman in the middle of colonial times, absolutely unheard of in the colonies during this time. So I'm just giving you the tip of the iceberg of the things that she's done, but there's a lot of weird facts about her. Obviously, I told you about the double her age thing with the marriage. You can ask about that. You can ask anything you want to about Eliza's death. Hey Eliza, how old were you when you died? Where did you die from? Where are you buried? And what U.S. president was a pallbearer at your funeral? Like, that's a pretty big one. A lot of people like to go after that one first. Let's see. The mansion is not here anymore. You can ask what happened to it. And then, when did that happen? Obviously, hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll get a year. If you're going to ask about the children, tread lightly. Maybe ask how many kids, how many boys, how many girls, get some names, leave it alone. The reason why I say that, there's a tragedy among those children. She doesn't want to talk about it. If she does want to talk about it, I will know based off the clues of the things you guys are hearing, or seeing on your spirit boxes. So, last but not least, Eliza was the second wife named Eliza from Charles. They both go by their maiden name that start with the letter L. They don't have the same maiden name, but they both start with the letter L. So if you want to find out what that maiden name is, that would be a good question to start with too. We are going to stay within the confines of this lot. We're going to stay away from the vehicles, including in between them. If people are walking to their vehicles, this is a parking lot. Just think about if your car was being filmed, would you be very happy? Probably not. 2 cameras, 3 cameras. We're going to stay away from filming people's cars if they're going to their vehicle. They don't know that we're there. So again, we're just going to kind of keep it fun and light, and again, if somebody's going to their car and giving you a hard time, I'll be right over. But again, definitely lots of lasers in here, lots of spirit boxes, definitely the REM pod. If you can keep it steady and calm, we'll see what we can do with it. In the event that you think it's your movements causing it, set it down. Put it on the ground. It's okay. Test the movements. Just reset it once you set it down. I am going to check you guys in on the different websites that you guys bought your tickets from. Let you guys get a head start. London will be bouncing around, and then I will be with all of you in 5 minutes taking notes of the things that are happening in here, and then showing some evidence to the laser team, and then off to the thermal team.
So are we supposed to be asking this question?
Literally asking questions, or you can wait if you're uncomfortable
should ask
asking
them
out loud. And that's perfectly
touchy
fine too.
questions
Sometimes words
about
just
children,
pop up
so
and
you
they're
can get them to do
actually
something
relevant.
crazy.
One of the kids' names, and
You
then
know
tell
he
us
said not
what
to.
ward he served in, or
Joe, I didn't know you were such a
the daughter's
rebel.
name, or whatever. It just depends on what's going to actually pop up. But the general practice is, yes, you're asking as if this person were standing right in front of you. That's usually when you get your
Right
best
here.
results. Some people are a little uncomfortable. That's why I kind of give you guys a head start. Nobody likes the teacher watching over their shoulder. And some people are uncomfortable asking thin air questions. But again, we did hear the word shot on the SB7 spirit box over there. Big John did get shot. So we're going to take that as definitive evidence. It is a direct relation to that story. We want a little bit more, but hopefully that's going to show up on the other spirit boxes. So, London, show her how simple this word actually relates. You know most of these stories,
Yeah.
especially with the kids. So she's learning more about the kids, which is a good history lesson. She has U.S. constitutional history this year, so this will be really good for her. So
Starting
let's
on
spread out.
Tuesday.
Yeah, right. Let's spread out. Let's have some fun. Get those spirit boxes up
Tuesday
and
with
running.
us too? Yeah. Okay.
All right.
You're gonna be my buddy.
Want to ask any questions?
Alright, I forgot what questions to ask her about something. I don't think I should ask questions. I should just record her.
We need to listen better.
We
I was
gotta,
confused. I didn't know we would be asking, and then I would, like, I think he's going to go to each one and give us a little lesson, so I need to be
Okay.
more prepared to listen.
apparently I can't miss anything, so I gotta keep recording.
What kind of things should we ask?
Hey Trish, are we recording yet?
I don't know.
Okay. So because they're digital cameras.
We should be like, hey. Is it Elijah? What is it again? Alicia?
Mine?
No, what's the girl's name? The woman's name? There's 2 of them, right?
Who?
the person we're looking for.
Oh.
And we gotta ask the ghost. You gotta do the earrings here, don't you? They're probably recording me all this stuff. I can't say anything inappropriate.
Don't you do it.
What's his name, Nick? Sorry, Nick. He's probably got me recording on here, too.
Alright. Is it 1.21?
That's a question.
Okay, how?
What was her name? Elijah?
Where was the mansion? The mansion was here.
Are we stepping on your bed right now?
Where are we in the mansion?
Apparently, he said I gotta keep somebody in the picture. There's something behind you. I haven't seen anything yet. I'm trying to see if I can find someone behind you. Elijah, are we inside your house? Well, no, they said not yes or no questions, right?
Right.
Because it's like yes or no.
Because I said, where are we in the mansion?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Thank you.
Hey, real quick. So even if he was recording, you don't know. Get it, boy, get it.
That's why you gotta find a place to stay.
Alright, Joe, it's Eliza.
Eliza. I'm gonna try to record if she's asking any questions.
I'm at 1.19.
Just because your device doesn't record anything, I will ask you what your spikes are at as far as the EMFs. So, based on the one that, his name is Sean. I'm horrible with names. I'm a writer. I should know my own characters, right? But with his, only goes up to 25. Yours is spiked at 149 is the highest I've seen it. And it's
Okay.
been in this line, just so you know.
Okay.
But
I
she's
saw 1.27 earlier.
2.5 and higher.
Okay.
So in this line, last night even, I want to say I got it up to 28 because I was the one using it last night. It will not detect wind either, by the way, just so you guys know.
Okay.
Yeah,
What is it? What's it measuring again?
it's measuring
I
which
think you're
one.
messing it up. Okay.
No, he's not even close to it.
Oh, is he not?
Yeah.
Maybe
I'm
somebody,
doing
maybe
good.
that technology.
No, it literally would have
This
to
is
be right.
1.82.
So basically, in a nutshell, blended it and explain how the REM pod works. It's an EMF field around the antenna. It's straight up and down, which means there's nothing happening with your lights other than the green light, no noise. When it breaks, because something interrupted it, any kind of electronic, or they say the spirit world can interrupt anything electronic, which is why we all use electronics out here. It'll kink. That's why it makes those noises. The tighter it kinks, as something gets closer to it, the louder it's going to go, and the further up the thoughts are going to go. Notice how close I just got to it, and it didn't do anything. Now your numbers here and the antenna are working independently. You can have zeros and blue to purple to red on the antenna. You never know. It can, and vice versa. You might not have anything here, but this might go all the way up to 150. Did she turn off the temperature?
No, it's still on.
Okay, we're going to shut that off. That's me. The reason I'm shutting it off is those EMF numbers are now going to move way faster. So this is one of the reasons I wanted to come over and double check. So I want them to move faster. It's more accurate. You're going to see them move a lot quicker. Try to get what the spike is, just the first whole number. So if it goes up to 25, 30, 50, whatever. It doesn't matter about the point, whatever. But with now that thing going off a little bit more crazy, you're not moving at all. So there's no reason for it to be doing anything. Evidence on your part. Let me show you what this camera's actually done. It actually took place up in that corner.
This one here?
Yep. Let me pull it up.
Yeah,
Sorry, I'm still flustered that her camera died. So gave it to her with a full battery. Now it's dead. 'Cause I want you guys to have the evidence back, and something happening like that in the moment, it's kind of cool, but it also can be looked like it's staged, and I don't do that. It's a bad deal for me. Let's see. And the guy walking by screaming boo at us, I do everything in my power to show that ghost hunting is not scary, and then I get people like that every single night.
Yeah.
So, this is the wall, right up there, right? There's two living people walking past it. Do you see the two orange heads? Okay, so let's fast forward and find the ghosts. There's going to be two black heads going this way with a person in view on the right. They should be the same color. And that's not a vehicle. I've had this tested by firemen and mechanics to frame by frame to make sure that it is not a vehicle.
We use similar ones at work for doing like electrical cabinet.
Yeah.
We take out hot spots for wire connections.
Yep, exactly.
I think ours Fluke, FLU.
Oh yeah, okay, yep.
Like electrical test equipment.
Yeah, I went with FLIR. It just seemed to be the easiest way so that I can have other people use it. And really, if they don't know what they're looking at, it's okay, because I'm going to look at it again tomorrow. I'm going to just spot check it and kind of see where the hot spots are. So
it's best for me, kind of more or less, whenever they're asking questions in the area, just to hold it. And
well, even with her device, I have yet to capture anything when the EMF, the REM pod's going off, if there's some kind of entity around it. So again, if you see anything moving around at all that shouldn't be, that's where you're going to stay put. Also keep in mind, you can see thermodynamics in reverse. If you see anything heat up super fast, 5, 10, 15, 20 degrees, in like a 2 to 10 second time period, that means there's a cold spot being generated nearby. I don't want you to lose the one going up in temperature, because you're never going to find that cold spot being generated. So again, thermodynamics is a tricky business.
This one went up to 3 something.
You gotta get higher than that. We're at Pinckney Mansion.
Okay.
So I would say.
So what am I looking for again? Because earlier it was 2.5 or higher, but now I'm looking for.
Well, I think I just expect more. Now I'm excited with 3, but I'm not like that's a 3. Okay, that's all right. With the Pinckney Mansion, this is where I've seen it go 30, 50, 100, 150.
Okay, I need to get over to
so
some
3
other areas.
isn't really strong enough for me just yet. How we doing, fellas? I haven't heard anything in particular.
now we're gonna go home and watch some. Watch on YouTube Ghost Hunter. I think that's what it's called. Christina likes to watch. Let's see if we're.
Ooh, I just got a 4.
What if I get this close to it? This is EMF. I don't think this says signal.
I don't know what EMF means.
Electromotive force. I think. Anyway.
I guess I'm just confused about my job. Your job makes sense. Mine is confusing me. Maybe you can explain it to me later.
I don't know exactly.
Because I felt like a dumbass. But I didn't know. But she did a good job explaining.
Yeah, my job is probably like the easiest, I think. It might not be, no, actually, physically it might not be the easiest because I'm trying to pick up stuff. I can't just like be moving it around like this, but I think I gotta be steady. I think I'm better standing back. Don't record, people.
Joe, we gotta ask more questions.
What should we ask? We should say, was it Elijah?
Eliza.
Eliza, not Elijah. Eliza.
Right.
Eliza. We are here to get to know you better.
Oh, a 2 popped up.
We are here friendlies.
Is that how you're gonna talk
We need you
We
to
are
let
here
us know. Listen, we gotta be friendly with Eliza. We got.
I can't be haunted, Joe. I already
Look.
have too much going on.
Yeah, but look, we're here friendly. We need to know you're here.
You want to hold this in your pockets? We found a trash can.
Let us know that you're here right now.
No, in a mouthful. Because we're friendly.
I just said friendly. We're here being friendly. Not unfriendly.
Let's get hit by a car, Joe.
They're on the other side. Why is this spot so daggone cold? Why is it so...
Hard on you.
Elijah. Uh-oh. What did you put in my pocket? Elijah. Why is this spot so cold? Hey, the thing is, if I ask a question, oh, I'm sorry. Hey, maybe. If I ask a question, like, Elijah, why is this spot so cold? Is this an important area in the house? Like, who's going to record me asking that question?
It doesn't have to be recorded.
Okay.
You're just trying to spark activity.
I guess ideally we would have it like this spark, the vision, the other vision, all the visions, and the audio. I think we're going to see something. So we're in a garden now. We're in a garden, right?
Oh, yeah.
Ask her.
Question, Joe. I can't think of any.
I'm going to be like, Elijah.
I need to hear the story one more time.
Yeah, I didn't catch on. There's two Elijahs. Eliza.
It's Eliza.
Sorry, Eliza's a woman. Elijah is a man.
Right.
I said here, Eliza. Are we in your garden, right? Oh, that's an yes or no question. Did you enjoy your garden? If you enjoyed your garden, present yourself on this thermal imaging device. I gotta watch more videos. That's why I know how to do it. There's a lot of cool spots. Look how warm that spot right there. That is crazy. Look at this right here. Look how it is where this truck is at.
I don't even understand.
Yeah,
Ain't
why is
crazy?
that? We've asked a few good questions and haven't gotten any responses.
Also keep in mind, what's weird about all of this, there's 3 different spirit boxes and 2 pieces of audio. Yours and the one I'm holding. It does record audio.
Uh-oh. We didn't say anything inappropriate.
Oh, I said that. I bet it's recording. I probably should.
That just didn't know you did. So, but at any rate, if they're asking questions, the answers can come through as EVPs on mine and your recordings as
That's
well.
what I asked. It's probably more substantial if you have this, and an audio. Like when you ask the question, then you can kind of see it happen here.
But again, if you're asking questions rogue, things that I didn't give you at the end of the story, and they're hearing answers but don't know that that might be a question, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Again, I try to give all of the basic stuff that could prove that they're actually here tonight. So far I haven't heard or seen anything that actually says that they are. You haven't given me a crazy spike. You're getting a little bit of action, but you are holding it. You're standing still, and it is giving you a little bit of motion, which is interesting. They haven't heard anything on the SB7 yet. So like, I was really surprised they got something right away at the other location. That's the hardest device to listen to here. There's no antenna. So again, somebody broke it off. So it doesn't have an antenna. There's a piece of electrical tape over top of it. So when you get anything out of it, it's exciting. So you definitely want to deep dive into it and find out what those words mean. That's why I write them all down, because it doesn't record. So
Okay. All right. I think I'm better understanding now.
So which one has the recorder? This one does, or that one? All of them do.
That one, and then the one he's wearing, and then they have an audio.
Who's they?
Cody and I can't remember his dad's name or his.
I can't either.
All right, we need to figure out what was body.
Huh? There's something funky about this hot spot. Oh, it's a daggone piece of concrete. I didn't realize it was
What's
concrete.
that mean?
No concrete holds heat long after the sun goes down. So. Alright, what was back here? Garden. Oh, I think I... What you touch it? What does it do when you touch it? Good in this. False reading. Elijah.
I need to hear the story once more.
I bet you can't scare me right now.
Stop, Joe. This isn't scary.
That's right, because we're doing friendly ghosts. Not like the ones that...
Did we go to a different place, too?
Sure don't do this. Yeah, I think he said that this is one of the toughest places to find stuff. I think we're going to somewhere more scary. What is this right here?
Tough as
Like, apparently not very much. Apparently.
I never went over there. Do you think I should go over there?
Let's go over there.
So that was the garden. What is over here?
Eliza, what are we heading towards?
Joe.
Was this also part of the garden? What kind of plants did you grow over here?
I think we need to ask something more, like, relevant to get her stirred up.
I don't know any questions. Tell you, that food over there smells good, even though I'm not even hungry.
I'm getting more stuff over here. I just got a 1.22. Even though that one's not exciting.
Oh, look, it's a manhole. Ooh, she might be in the manhole cover. Look, she's down there.
What is the thermo on a manhole?
I think it's cast iron. Or maybe steel. Probably,
Why is this cold?
probably full fuel.
Oh, I got a 1.8.
Probably because it's dirt. There's concrete around it, so in contrast, it looks a lot hotter. Yeah, because there's only 10 degrees difference in between this little sandy spot.
Again, I like to have when
Did
the
we
term
say why she died? Or is that what we're trying to figure out?
I think just anything.
No, did he say
Let's
why
ask
she
her.
died?
Oh, I don't think so. She asked her how did she die.
Or did she get shot?
Eliza, did you get shot? Or do you care to tell us how you died?
We need Christina here.
Oh shit, that scared me a little bit.
You got anything?
I was about to say, who are you talking about, Christina?
Alright guys, let's all head over here. I'll get you some answers.
Alright.
Elijah, follow the crowd, please.
Eliza. Her name's Eliza.
Am I not saying it right still?
No.
Eliza.
She is going to come out to just
Tell
tell you her name.
Hey, come get me.
So, it's one answer things happen with the K2 meter where that's going for specifics come closer, get away from the device, and it was going up and down for Trish, so that's pretty cool stuff. We did get that on video, I'm sure. I'm very excited that we did get this. We just heard the word burn on the SP7, which is exactly what happened to the mansion. Caught fire in the Great Fire of 1861. So yes, it did burn down. Very interesting. April's device has just been going wonky this entire time. What was the highest number that you saw?
There was a 3.23.
So again, last night I had it up to 28. I am going to still mark down the 3.2 at this point since she did that specifically. Again, I can't explain the camera dying. That just blows my mind still. So, I did not see any relative terms on Susan's list, just so you guys know. We have yet to have an actual relevant term to show up on that list. And I would say we're probably a good 25, 30 terms in. So that's usually about half of what we see in an average night, about 65 to 70 terms. So again, it'll be interesting to see what else pops up out of that list. That's normally what I go to first. But let's get you guys the answers. Let's see, we'll start off with Eliza's maiden name. I told you they start with L. So it's Eliza Lucas Pinckney is the one that planted all the indigos. Eliza Lamb Pinckney was the first one. So Lamb and Lucas are the names we are looking for there. Obviously, we just found out that the mansion burned down in the Great Fire of 1861. That particular fire went from Peninsula Coast to Peninsula Coast. This building just happened to be in the way. Nonetheless, if you guys came into town through East Bay Street, You saw the Harris Teeter up there, right? The grocery store. That's where the fire started. That's 3 blocks away, going north. So again, this is pretty far away, where it actually just took out half of it and kept going. The only pictures we have of the mansion are after the fire. That's an interesting point. Eliza was 22 years old. We did get, when they were asking how old they were when Eliza got married, they did hear husband and wife very clearly on the S-Box, so that's pretty cool stuff. It's not a definitive answer, but we will take husband and wife when it was asking about a marriage. Eliza, 22, Charles, 45. So 23 years age between them. That was what we were asking about that, how many years were in between them. So it's 23 years. Children, let's go to Eliza's death. That was always interesting. So Eliza died at the age of 70 in 1793. Yeah, exactly. She died from breast cancer in Philadelphia, which is also where she's buried. Again, you don't know why I don't take you to cemeteries. Now you do. You're not going to hang out where you're buried when you're gone. You're going to go to places you love, like your mansion in Charleston. So again, that's why we hit places up like this. As far as breast cancer in 1793, there was no such thing as breast cancer in 1793. We're going based off her medical records. They didn't have any clue what they were actually dealing with, which is why she was in Philadelphia seeking treatment. Guesses on the president, now that you guys know what year she died, 1793? George Washington was the president. So, and that wasn't something that the tourism office told me about. That was actually something that came out of the evidence from the tours. So, came up one night, I'm like, there's got to be a link. You just don't hear George Washington on the radio when you're at the Pinckney Mansion site and not be relevant. So, lo and behold, yes, he was a pallbearer. Very interesting stuff. Let's see, what else? Oh, the children. So, he already gave you Charles. There was a Thomas who fought in the Battle of Camden and actually got his leg shattered from a bullet wound. So normally things around his bullet wound show up here. Then we have baby George. We don't know how old exactly baby George was when he died, but it could have been days or weeks. His death certificate just says the same date of the month and year as his birth. So again, no headstone, no grave, just a death certificate. Was he stillborn?
No, but cold baby doesn't necessarily.
Yeah, we did get cold baby here. But my first thought is stillborn because that term has shown up at the stillborn child story later on. So that was my first thought. So maybe you're right. Maybe it does refer to George. There's a third George. Not like George Foreman named all his kids George, but baby George was named after Eliza's father. So if her father's first name is George, and you already know what Eliza's maiden name is, what's Eliza's father's full name? Thank you, London. George Lucas, everybody. So you don't get the joke. It's the guy who created Star Wars. I've had people not understand the joke, and it's not the same time period. Like, I've actually had somebody ask me, so Eliza's father made Star Wars? Come on. But anyway, I know, right? Yeah, can we get Yoda here? I am. So, let's see. I think that about covered. Oh, and there was one daughter, Harriet. So Harriet actually married in Ori. Ori is Myrtle Beach area, so there wasn't a car ride. There was lots of letter writing. So I get a lot of things around the published letters between her and her daughter. So it was published, papers, ink, letters itself. So again, we never know what's actually going to pop up around the daughter. We are going to actually skip the cobblestone street tonight because we do have wheelchairs, but there are other places we can go to, so we're going to just skip that location and get to the next stop, which means we're going to be going up and around and going down to Rafer's Alley and over to like where St. Philip's Church is. This is a more populated area. You are going to see those larger tours there. It is a Friday night. So again, when we see those larger tours, I just stay out of their way because you guys joined the annoying group tonight with the laser beams and the noise boxes. So again, congratulations. So I kind of like scout where we can go and we're actually going to be comfortable so I can tell you what's going on before we investigate these locations. And we'll kind of dive in a little bit deeper. So we're going to learn some myths and legends around Charleston. So some things you may not know about Charleston around that particular corner. Those stories, of course, they're not just random facts. And then we're going to dive into a female pirate over at the Powder magazine. So, yeah, that's an interesting story for sure. But I will use Susan's list to kind of help guide me which stories to tell before we dive into the female pirate. So again, there's so many stories on that corner. If there's nothing there, I'll just use my standard go-to stories, which there's 2 of them, then we'll dive into pirates. But if she does have something, we'll kind of work around that and see if we can capture more evidence around it. I think the easiest way to get Trish around is for us to leave this way and go up and over so we can go all the way down the alley. So let's get Trish around the corner safely and let's move on.
Okay, so now this next one, we really have to listen to the story so we know what complex it's at.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that was probably half our problem is like we didn't know what questions to ask.
Or the actual name for any of that stuff.
Well,
Nice truck. We'll have to look up full size of 1-ton truck parking accessible in Charleston. Let's get it. There's a nice F350.
stop.
Single rear wheel.
And that shows her out there that I have to.
I can only watch it.
Well, at least we have a better understanding now. Because I was going into this with no understanding.
You and me both. Well, some of it, this right here kind of made sense to me, obviously. It's kind of good. I actually use
Well,
it.
yeah, that one is. I've seen that.
Obviously, I have my tactics where this is not a scary thing, right? So,
Anything in a wheelchair is a bicycle. Same guy playing that was playing earlier.
I've been here so long, winter's so cold, summer's over to down. Next time I'll be back to settle down where we found that old road. I got some stress on that I already know.
Like, does she have an old school cell phone?
Sometimes I wouldn't
Those paintings over there.
Oh yeah, those are pretty.
chase these days down with talks that it makes sense that we would go. We have on front porches and sweat life away, getting by just fine here on minimum wage. If love is later, I'm gonna stay till the end, but I won't cross these streets until you hold my hand.
What are we doing?
Easiest way around because of
Should we do an escape?
minutes or 60 seconds?
Definitely minutes, Joe.
I don't say 50 seconds. What if I can get claustrophobic and you want to get out before?
And you just start screaming.
Don't worry, that sunglasses up. Oh, yeah, I'm still drawing away. Look at it. It's good right now, so back home. Anything in the garbage can? This creepy walkway right here.
There was a fly on it.
What?
That caramel apple.
Better do it together. What do you call those pottery spinning tables?
Oh yeah. I've decided once we get the house done and we can start working on hobbies, I'm gonna get back into that.
Tiny trash can. Yeah.
And I'm gonna do that again because I really enjoyed it.
I just hold off on buying any kind of cup. You just make me. I All it comes underneath.
Or you could just get that one and I could eventually.
I smell it so in my hand, like even now.
I've seen it everywhere.
That bag of sand? Looks like a bag of sand.
Why are they everywhere? They're around all the doors. I missed her?
Oh no, that's what it's all in there.
I was trying to get misted.
What's got the TV cop? There's one of the fake ones, not a real one.
Feeling down.
What was that little pub we went to in Piedmont? I think it's called like a Piedmont pub or something.
Yep.
Piedmont bar.
Yeah.
Look at that place. It's really loud.
Well, they had too big of a band in there.
Yeah, the volume turned up pretty high. No, it's
Is that
not.
only part?
Yep.
Okay. We'll start getting our bearings. I'm not supposed to be getting down around here, am I? Because I don't think I'm supposed to turn it on until we get.
They said I was going to ask me to turn it off, but that last place was too loud.
Alright, hear anything on the way here, guys? Nothing? Except for all the crazy music I dragged you guys through? Alright, so you normally, go ahead.
You want this recording music playing, or should I stop?
Yeah, you can go ahead and stop it. Let's save the footage for the next stop when we're actually fully on an investigation. This is more like story time around a campfire.
Goes off.
No,
Turn it off.
yeah,
Louder.
definitely stop on you.
Alright, I'm recording now. Yeah, steady up. Steady.
Talking in here, trying to get some footage. I said, all right, Ann.
Oh, are these the
I didn't want her to think I was talking to myself. Okay.
Are those the bolts or these are the crosses?
I thought you said the crosses were the bolts.
Yeah, these aren't the crosses. Looks like there used to be a house, a roof on the edge of this. Look.
Okay, so we have to say Ann.
Ann Burton.
Ann Bonnie.
Ann Bonnie and MR. Whatever MR.
What was the name of your ship?
Whoa. What was the name of your ship? And we also didn't know how some woman died. They said use your imagination.
Because she was in a prison. I don't think Ann will know. She was in a pirate prison.
Yeah, but they're... Okay, that's true.
Ann died at 84, but we don't know how.
Got my finger in the way. What the heck? Isn't it? It's old is what that is, isn't it? You reckon she's crawling across the roof?
What now?
You reckon she's crawling across the roof? God, look how warm those blocks are. Alright, what questions you gotta ask now?
I'm like, where's she going? Okay. She's really struggling.
the first few weeks, and I was about a year ago now. Almost a year ago. So, again, just interesting. I mean, every night is different, and you never know what I'm going to get. Some nights it's like, that's my second one.
Yeah, there you go.
I definitely can't see the red ones in here, can you?
It's not really bright.
You can take that red one from me. I'll swap them out. Maybe we can get it so brighter.
If you come closer, my white will go red. Can you make it red turn red? The second red light, all the way at the end. And keep it on.
What are you getting?
It's the highest it's gone is like 0.3.
Like this thing is really zoomed in. Didn't have trash in my
I've
thing.
had that thing almost a year. And I would say that I've only changed the batteries maybe twice, and I'm out here every night. So, I gotta test everything before I leave the house. If I can still see it on the ceiling,
I don't understand. What are those bolts in
the top
the
of it, you know,
the
if
brick?
it's still there. I'm like, okay, it's still good to go.
On that big building?
Mm-hmm.
I think those are probably,
Hmm?
I'm not sure what those are.
Well, what did you think they are?
You know, whenever they lay brick, like brick veneer on a house, they still frame it like a regular house. They put OSB sheeting, and they leave little brick tabs out so they can, because the brick on a house is not really structural. It's just kind of stood. There's a gap between the OSB sheeting and the brick. So maybe that's like some kind of rod that holds it to it. But that being as old as it is, I imagine that probably is like real brick. So maybe somehow those are structural something as big as they are.
No.
Some type of tie rods that hold it together.
We don't let the baby live, and maybe she just left him behind. So, I mean,
we
it's
don't know what
a total
happened to the
mystery.
baby.
All the stories I've read, all the
What we got here?
nothing has a definitive answer.
Oh,
So the
I
stuff
got a
that I told you was only
0.45.
things that were definitive among at least 3 out of the 4 or 5 books that I read on this.
It's kind of moving a lot, and I'm not even. Let me reset it.
Can you please point to red?
I want to know the name of the show.
You better not be demanding.
Uh-oh, I got eat up, Joe.
Yeah, it feels.
Legs there too. Well,
Feather and
legs.
I got a chill.
The doctor
Oh,
got
she
shot.
got shit. Let me see.
Oh my god.
What happened?
I didn't understand.
I'm not trying to leave you.
Like a 5 to 10 minute video, even though we might be 2 blocks away, I'm still game. Like, you actually have the word market there. We did pass through the market, which is ironic. I will put that as a coincidence. But if it gives me another street name, it's something.
You gotta chill. Trying to capture the chill. You could.
There better be nothing by me.
Again, until something. I've had other street names show up before.
It's weird because I've seen a few things behind you. I'm just kidding. See, you upset her a little bit.
Yes, craziness going on. have measures, so that way I can compare the two. That's why I keep them on the lookout.
Oh my goodness, I had the wrong units of measurement.
Really what?
So you must have tapped something by accident.
Well, she did it on purpose.
No, I did not.
I
think Ann did it because I was demanding her
Has it
to.
been like on a one or like whole number then 1 decimal point all night up until a few minutes ago?
Whole number.
That would be the number on the left of the
No,
decimal.
I know, but what did you say?
Is there only one whole number and then 1 decimal point
Yes.
most of the night up
Yeah.
until here?
Yes. Because I just returned it back on because I had it off over there so we
Okay.
could hear.
So let's turn that temperature off. I don't care how hot it is. I know I'm sweating to death. That's what I know.
I wonder what it's been done over here because it was just going crazy.
Well, I will tell you, like, we have a pole right here. You're going to get a little bit of a reading.
Oh, okay.
Just to let you know. That thing gives off a lot of voltage.
All right,
So
yeah,
it
this
gives off
definitely seems more normal because earlier I was like, be careful over there, Joe.
I'm gonna break that wood. What do you say that
All
gives
right,
off?
now
like
the
what?
highest has been like 3 something.
What do you say?
All
that
right,
gives
now I feel like I need to take a walk again because I was doing all of that for nothing.
You're on the milli something now.
We couldn't even read it.
It's on milliamps. Should have been on microamps.
Got any words?
Alright, that was a false reading. I was just testing something out. What do you got here?
You got something else, Susan? You look excited about something.
No, we were laughing
Ah.
at evolution. Genetic and evolution.
I'm not talking about
I think
legs.
it calls a false reading. Really.
That's a big deal. Talking about the guy who got shot in the leg. And
Well, I told him that was false.
Okay.
what happened?
I was just looking at what it looked like on my finger. I ran my finger across and it kind of looks like something.
But it's a false reading.
But I said on here, this is recording, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I said it was false. I just want to see what
As
it
long as that
was.
square is on there, you're recording.
Yep.
Okay.
Now the highest I've gotten is like 3.7.
Well, that's good here.
So,
Normally this is the dead zone. That's what I was just
Okay.
telling them. So if you get anything, this is usually where something else is probably going off.
Okay.
Thermal imaging camera, believe it or not, gives me
Okay,
the
so-
most evidence out of this location. It likes to act up in here. So glitches give me weird readings. All of a sudden people's devices stop working of whoever he's filming. I've seen it happen a few times. So
Have you
again,
seen any
the thermal
blue
imaging
moon?
camera gives me
I
the
haven't
most
seen any
evidence out
blue
of
yet.
here. So you said 3.7?
yes.
What is
You know how hard it is to write in the dark?
building with the crosses?
Do what now?
You said you know how hard it is to write in the dark?
Oh,
You
yeah,
need
I
to
can
decipher this
imagine.
crap in the morning so I can put it in your notes.
What is inside that building?
You're like, what did I write?
Exactly. And I'm the writer. I should be able to read my own writing. I can't.
So what's the name of this app?
That one's called Ghost Hunting. So at the top of the database, it is that serving in the bell. I didn't see. I'll take it.
And what is the ship's
Been
name?
kind of a late night.
Please tell me.
But I don't see the word stomach too
Are you
often.
trying a different tactic?
I'm trying to be nice. I ain't trying to get spooked by nothing nuts. I mean, we're like, she could easily follow us to the truck, and then she could jump in the back of the truck.
Everybody asks about my
Don't tell her where we are.
We don't have to.
So do you guys want to
She ain't gonna spook me tonight. She's gonna spook you. You've been nice.
Don't put that on me.
I'm not. You put it.
Mine has got a lot of
I want to go inside that building. Can we go inside?
activity, and I'm stationary.
I wonder if it matters what orientation of a.
He said no. What's happening? Who's walking?
Do I get scared by this stuff? I don't. It's not an emergency. I have pendulums and these around the house. Stuff starts moving. Something's going on. We break out some equipment. We figure it out. If we need to use something, I need to channel. That's perfectly fine too. Just gotta figure it out. Try not to do all of that when Monday's over here. She lives in Littleton, Mom. So Mom doesn't approve so much. We'll just put it that way. But
Yeah, that's why I'm doing this, because my husband doesn't like this stuff.
This is a really cool app to use. I actually have a few others listed on the top of your database too, so that way you can actually have like a cool little kit. The EMF meters for your phone actually work.
I thought
How much did you pick up?
it was like, it spiked like 4.8, and then I looked up and realized I was pointing at the parking meter.
Electrical work.
Do you think your building has some? Let's go.
Oh.
You want to try it?
Oh, yeah,
But the thing is, it doesn't work.
look how much of a delay it is, though. Yeah.
I don't know, there's like different...
There's different.
You can still see your face. How much of a delay?
You're having too much fun with that.
I'm gonna bust out the one at work now. Go around and take a picture. I'm gonna walk around. What are you doing? Like, oh, hey, take
All right, let's wrap everybody up just because they're laser guys. People are folks are still kind of like, all right, what do we do now? So did you guys hear anything extra on yours?
Yeah, I fell through the roof.
I asked a bunch of questions.
Nothing extra? So we did get one particular term. What was it? Oh, we did get the word stomach. So remember, she stabbed her servant in the belly with a knife. Again, I'm going to take it just because things have been pretty light tonight. I'm not going to be honest. I don't like to make things up. Can we turn the spirit box down? So I feel like I'm shouting over top. We have had a 3.7 on April's EMF reading, so that's pretty high for here. Like anything above 2.5 is high. This is a dead zone. So again, if I get anything, that usually means something else is about to pop up. So, and the fact that she's getting motion without any kind of deterrence, I can't figure out what's going on with that motion either. So these are all things that I've written down. So we'll kind of see what comes out of it. As far as, like, we did get a few terms. You guys, what was the term you heard from the female? You said something about a finger?
Something about the finger.
So we just heard my finger or something along those lines on that SB7. Again, that's a hard box to listen to. So again, we don't know what came up on the thermal imaging camera. Joel hasn't mentioned anything. Why are people so loud? Like just me, or people just like all over screaming? Like I'm normally like pretty discreet. Like guys, let's get into the ghost hunt. I'm like, hey guys! Like that's how I feel tonight. Like it's been a little crazy. So again, let me kind of take a look at our time. How do you guys feel about at least going to see where that cemetery is? I mean, it's already 10:40, and I mean, we've already got about 2 hours in, as far as, which is about average of what we normally do. If you want to see that cemetery, I don't have a lot of history on it, but we can get some footage if you'd like. It's up to you.
Yeah, while we're
Want
at
to take
it.
that walk? Oh, by the way, the name of the parents of Ann Bonning is William, and we have another Mary. So Mary Brennan, William Cormack were the parents. The name of the ship was the Kingston. So
Kingston.
I don't expect the word Kingston to pop up through a radio station. I do expect the word King. So you never know. I've only had it happen once in the 9 months I've been coming here. So take that for what it's worth. So again, we're going to be running to other tours. Other tours are allowed inside that cemetery. We're going to be spectators on the outside, gathering footage with our cameras. I'll tell you the little bit of history that I do know. We'll spend 5 minutes, and then you guys can ask me questions as I collect the devices. Fair? All right, let's go take a look.
Kind of like that.
Well, I turned it off, but then it kind of just said leave it in chunks. I'm not sure what. Leave it running or what? Just turn it back. I almost got it wrong. he said the more separate videos he has, the more one video is an hour. Separate section's going to add another hour to it. It's looking funny. That'd be cool to have some of these at the driveway. Let's take a picture of all the meter bases. See which one's drawing the most amperage. What was the stuff you said too? There's some kind of a dungeon tunnel, whatever she just said.
I missed that part. What do you mean?
I'd ask him.
Kingston's the name of the ship.
I'm talking about earlier. About some tunnel, about a different kind of tour.
Oh, I thought that was an alley.
Yeah, I thought there was some type of dungeon or something.
She's got a very loud projector. She has a loud projector.
You can see where I like the smaller groups. It's just not my personality. It's not. Alright, so we're going to go closer towards the end of this wall, but I wanted to give you the history here before we get some footage and see what words pop up. So, again, the son of Charles Pinckney, the nephew of Eliza, is buried here. Apparently, he actually ran for governor against his father, if I'm not mistaken, and then stepped out so he can start a newspaper called the Mercury. So again, these are key words: newspaper, Mercury, governor, Charles, of course. This guy's name is Henry Lawrence Pinckney. So we've had the name Lawrence show up at the Pinckney Mansion site a few times. So Lynn and I got very excited because we were already diving into this history. But the other piece of why other tourists come here is because you can see apparently the specters of Revolutionary War veterans. So again, I've been here several times with the thermal camera. We're going to be focused on the thermal and the full spectrum camera. We definitely want to get Sean handling the camera so we can be above it. We want to be above the grate. Same thing for you, nice slow movements. We're going to get about 5 minutes of footage and kind of see what comes out of it. I've been getting like 5 to 10 minutes at a time and listen to your spirit boxes. Obviously, if another tour comes by and needs to negate, we're just going to step aside and let them do their job. So again, we're here actually working and investigating. They're listening to stories. So if I gather any information from this, obviously it's going to be in your notes, and you're helping me add another location. So this right now doesn't look like it has a very good, how do I put this? It's not really in the running, I'll put it that way. It would be a fantastic ending to start with a Pinckney and end with a Pinckney. I would like to tell the Pinckney story a little bit more in detail, but if I have to add something like the Dock Street Theater or something like that, a little bit more common, I will. With this one, I want to tell a different story other than what these other folks are doing. So that's what I'm doing here. That's the idea. You guys are helping me out by just tagging along and using all the gear. So again, lasers, I really don't want to draw their attention, but if you want to shine in like about 5 feet while the full spectrum has it in view, would love to be able to do that. They're going to be all through the cemetery, so just be very cool. What's that? I do.
Trying to figure out what it is in my back pocket.
Well, that's where it all started. Because when I did the podcast, you have to have all the notes and all the data, so it goes to the blog. So they go together. So you can listen to it in the car and then read, like, see all the data later, kind of like what you guys are getting.
Absolutely.
Again, there's going to be groups moving in here. Cody, definitely get me something from here, man. I'm relying on you. I would love to add this. Let's get it. I don't know if it's, we've got the full spectrum. It is a graveyard. Now my theory is normally that you can see a lot of
So y'all getting steadier than this? King steady. They said they want to be back at their house, right? There you go.
We'll have to come haunt you.
Keep those lasers in closer. We've got the lasers.
I'm not getting anything.
No. And that's what happened here the other night when I came here. I only had a team of 2 and we had some extra time. Let's go look at this extra spot. We didn't get much of it.
Are we focusing on anything in particular? Or
I
just
just want you to have nice slow movement. Again, I'm looking for things in the dark. So the darker areas that you have with that.
Migrate to the back.
All right.
There's going to be people in the background.
Who's here with that?
Just for me.
Oh, I heard that. I heard that. Oh.
Can you tell me?
All right, I'll see y'all
Whoever
later.
said me, can you tell me what your name is? Said me again.
Yeah.
Where are we?
Yeah, some of the snap
How many of you are here?
got mirror on this side. I'm gonna, find Susan and the list.
While we were there. Their customs are different. They have the person who operates in the center of the temple. It's yeah. Married to the indigenous people of New Zealand. The tribal. And then the family
So I'm not really getting anything.
4 or 5 days.
She didn't hear that lady. She said, who's here with us right now? And like a half a second later, I think it was me. I missed you. You missed it.
Anything on your thermal?
Nothing. It's gone to maybe 0.1. So, and I walked all the way down there.
And everybody claims that this is the most haunted place in Charleston.
Oh, really?
Again, it's all hype for the other tours. So,
Which is strange.
How did you die?
it's beautiful. It's very, people expect to go to a cemetery. But again, it's not so much activity. Nobody's hanging out. You want to hang out in the box? I don't. I go to my main control.
When did you die?
Alright guys, I'm going to move this up this way just in case I'm going to call it on this one. You'll be getting pain from you, so...
Do I know you? Sure. Come on, home. Hey, man. Yeah. Look at my spider. Bunches of bugs.
They're red, which means chiggers. Do I have any?
I know, let me see.
Make sure they're not red ones.
See, one more, what about?
So again, there's a lot to go through. I go through it for about 2.5 hours. Again, I'm not going to do all the work for you. That's what part of the fun of this is. You did the field work, now it's time to do the research to see what we actually caught. Now, when I find these things, as far as what's on the spirit box, and all of the lists and all of those links that I'm about to give you,